Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am your English teacher Noor Muhammad, and I am not going to deliver any lecture on my subject English today. I am just going to have an orientation talk with you. It will be a little orientation talk with you, and there will be three basic elements, three basic points that I am going to discuss in my lecture, in my topic, in my talk today. The first one is introduction of the peace system, how it began, how it developed into this mega structure, mighty system of education in the province KPK. And the second thing will be the system, the peace system, the way it is implemented in our different campuses. And the third thing will be my own subject, English. How do we teach English? What different do we do when we teach English in our campuses? So let's begin with a little introduction of the peace system. The peace system of education, the peace group of schools and colleges began in 2001. And the beginning of the peace system is very humble. It began with 3 rooms small structure in the city Nowshera, and these 3 rooms were not really worth attention to ordinary people. It was a very humble beginning. Nobody had ever thought that these 3 rooms will eventually spread into sprawling campuses all over the KPK. But within 1 or maximum 2 years, the peace started achieving excellence, and it started achieving what was so hard, so difficult, and so unachievable for the other institutions in the area. It became more and more and more prominent and more worthy of attention, more noticeable, more popular in the area because of the academic excellence that it achieved. And then other campuses started opening up, and within 7 or 8 years we started having campuses. The peace system of education started having campuses all across KPK. What was so special, what was so unique about the peace system of education that helped it achieve what could not be achieved by the other institutions, by the other education systems in KPK, even after a long span, 30, 40, 50 years? What was so special about the peace campus, the peace system of education, the peace as a group of schools and colleges? Something that was absolutely different and unique and of the highest possible quality that made the peace group of schools and colleges, the peace system so successful, was actually the vision behind this education system. It was the philosophy of education that was the real key to success. And the credit goes to the Honorable Chairman Sir Sanaullah Khan for achieving this success, for providing the people of KPK with a quality system of education, for providing the people of KPK with a system of education that helped them achieve their dreams, that helped them fulfill their ambitions. So the peace system of education was actually the brainchild of its chairman, Sir Sanaullah Khan. It was the great vision, the mighty vision of its honorable chairman that made everything possible for us within a short span of few years. So we can say that it is basically the mastermind behind this education system that made it such a successful, such an unrivaled, and such an effective and efficient system of education, particularly in the province KPK. So the credit goes to this man. So I can simply say that the people of KPK, particularly the student population of KPK particularly, is absolutely indebted to the vision of Honorable Chairman. Had he not started it, had he not spared his time and decided to start establishing a small campus in Nowshera, we would have never seen a thing like the Peace Group of Schools and Colleges, this successful and striking and unrivaled system of education which we call as the Peace system of, the Peace School of, the Peace Group of Schools and Colleges, the Peace system of education. So this is a brief introduction, and you know, we have campuses in almost all the districts of KPK, major areas. In Abbottabad, in Mansehra, in Haripur, in Mardan, in Nowshera, in Peshawar, in Sawabi, in now even Sawat. So you will see the Peace campuses all across, and they are distinguished by, they are so distinguished on the basis of only one thing, their academic excellence. So this is something that all my students need to know, that they have now come into a different system of education, strikingly different and high quality system of education. So get ready, students, get ready, adapt yourself to the system, and you will be able to achieve what you have never ever achieved before, and you'll have, all your dreams will come true, all your ambitions will come true, only if you adjust to the Peace system as quickly as possible. So this was a brief introduction of the Peace system of education. Now let's move forward and talk about the system in itself, the education system in itself, the way it is implemented in our campuses all across KPK. When students come into our education system, they take admission in the Peace campuses, they find the Peace system of education strikingly different, and they are amazed by its uniqueness. Everything seems to be so different. If you come to the Peace system of education, you will see that everything is micromanaged. Everything is strictly supervised and monitored. There is no haphazard or chaotic scene here. So everything is pre-planned. Everything is discussed, debated, decided, planned in advance. We don't do things at the spur of the moment. We have everything, the Peace system of education has everything micromanaged, as I told you earlier. It is pre-planned. Everything is, literally everything. So this is something that is so striking about the Peace system, so unique about the Peace system. And you know, as far as the academic excellence is concerned, the annual results are concerned, our annual results speak for themselves. There is hardly any other system of education in the KPK that has achieved such brilliant academic result as has been achieved by the Peace system. There is no other group of schools and colleges in the whole range of KPK particularly that has achieved such academic excellence that has been achieved by the Peace. Why? I've just told you, because in the Peace system we work at quality. In the Peace system we believe in quality, in qualitative measures. When students take admission over here, they don't feel that confident. Even the ordinary students, the average students who think themselves as good enough, when they come into our education system, the Peace system, they go through such intensive preparation system, rigorous academic system, that they turn into well-trained soldiers to fight the battle of academic excellence. And they never look back. They always move forward. What makes our students so successful, even the good enough students, not extraordinary, we don't need Einsteins. We need people with average talent, with good enough talent, and if we get very good students, that's an extra edge that we have. But if we have good enough students, we turn them into excellent achievers, into high achievers. Now the question is, what makes the peace system so successful, so efficient as compared to the other education systems? Why the students in the peace system succeed in achieving what is normally unachieved by the students in other institutions? It is basically the key is our education system as it is implemented all across the campuses. And what are the key points of our education system? Let me tell you, there is a lot that I can discuss, but because I have time constraints, so I'm limiting my discussion to only major points. First of all, we have quality staff. The peace never compromises upon the quality of staff. Our teachers are thorough professionals. They are trained, properly trained. They are adapted to the peace education system, and they turn into experts of the peace education system. And with these quality teachers who are the masters of the peace education system after their training, we help achieve what is normally not achieved by the other education systems. This is the first thing, the focus of our teachers are well trained in terms of our system. They are absolutely masters of our system, the peace system. They implement this peace system in letter and spirit, and that's one of the keys of our success. The second thing is the system itself. The way we implement the system, the administration, the teachers, the way they implement the system. Our system is based upon what we call as breakdowns. Typically, there are there are four breakdowns of teaching. We call them as teaching rounds. And once 3 teaching rounds are over, we start our preps. And these preps are the backbone of our education system. Even when students find it a little hard to understand some points, some lectures, some academic stuff, once they go through this prep system, all their deficiencies, their weaknesses, their shortcomings are purged away. They are filtered through, and in this way we turn the diffident students, the hesitant students, the students who have lack of confidence, into confident students, into super brilliant students with the help of our prep system. Our students go through this prep system, and this prep system is highly intensive system of preparation and training for our students. Once students go through these preps, 12 days each, at least for the first prep. When they go through this 12 days each prep for 4 times during their first prep, they are turned into, I have just told you, they are turned into, using a metaphor, into highly trained and professional soldiers who are ready to fight the war. In our case, We have a war at our hands, the war of education, the war of achieving academic excellence. And our education system is so robust, such a valid system, that there are hardly any chances, there is hardly any room for weaknesses, shortcomings, or mistakes. Once students go through these preps, they start improving. The first prep, the second prep, the third prep, and then the fourth prep, and then we have the second prep. There are 4 rounds in each prep. At least the first prep consists of the 4 rounds. And then starts the second prep. Second prep has 2 rounds, 50%, 50, and 15 days of training session. And students go through this second prep. And then there is even a third prep, and maybe a fourth one, depending upon the length of the academic session. So when our students go through such intensive, such rigorous, such laborious training session, such laborious, rigorous, and intensive preparation system, we are absolutely sure they can never fail. And this is what makes them achieve what the students in other institutions, in other education systems cannot achieve. This is something that you need to understand. The only thing that we expect from our students is their mental readiness, their commitment, their proper mental attitude. Once they are ready to adapt to the system as quickly as possible, then there is no way, no one can stop them from achieving what they have ever desired. So this is something that all my students, you as students, need to understand. Adapt yourself to the system which is tested, the system which is trialed, and then which is validated. So the PEACE system for the last 19 years almost, so it is tested and trialed and validated. It's a proven system, it's a foolproof system. Our positions in all across the boards, in the Abbottabad board, in Mardan board, in Peshawar board, they speak for the validity of our system. There is no need for me to talk about the validity of our system when our results represent us better than we perhaps with our tongue, with our language can represent ourselves. So the thing that you need to do is, please adjust to the system, adapt to the system, show willingness, show commitment, show seriousness. If you have these things in you, we promise you, we will turn the raw coal into pieces of gold, into the pieces of diamonds. This is something that all of you need to do. This was a brief discussion about the PEACE system as it is implemented across the campuses. Finally, I'm going to talk about my own subject, English. How English is taught in our campuses all across. Kids, there are there are four major language skills. They are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And they are called as macro skills. Macro skills of language. Our education system, not the PEACE, the education system as it is implemented by boards, by the government boards, BISC, boards of intermediate and secondary education. Our education system, our syllabus designed by the curriculum wing, it basically focuses on developing only two skills, at least primarily. Number one, it teaches you how to read. Number two, it teaches you how to write. So our students develop these skills, but even these skills are not really creative. Our students only need to know what is there in the textbook. They only know to write what is provided to them in the textbook, in the notes. But the PEACE system does not believe in reading the textbook only. The PEACE system believes in creativity. The peace system believes in inventiveness. The peace system believes in critical thinking. Our students actually are developed, are turned into not only good readers and writers, but also good listeners and speakers. We always have such opportunities, we always have such practices, such procedures, such techniques implemented in our campuses that help our students to achieve excellent result. Not only excellent result, but also develop skills like listening, also develop skills like speaking and reading and writing. So we focus upon creativity. We try to make our students creative writers, critical thinkers, and also wonderful speakers as much as is possible and allowed by our education system, examination system. So this is something that we always focus on and that's how we move forward. And we expect that by providing our students with these creative opportunities, so they would be able to brush up their skills for practical life. So this is how English is taught in our campuses, but not only for the purpose of passing the exam, but also helping our students be good speakers of English language in general, and good writers of English language, the creative writers of English language, so in themselves. So this is how we train and polish our students. So this is the focus that we have while teaching our students. As I've just talked to you about the peace system, in the peace system, we do not believe in turning students into nerds, into bookworms. We always focus, the vision of our chairman, honorable chairman, is to make our students ready for the practical life, for the professional life. This is the reason why the peace system doesn't only focus purely on the academic activities. We also have co-curricular, extracurricular activities. And the Peace Festival is the opportunity for our students where they compete in all sports, in all the competitions, and they are provided with the opportunity to play cricket, to play badminton, to play basketball, to play all range of sports. And these competitions are held on annual basis, and typically these competitions take place in the first week of November. And we make our students prepare not just for academic life, but also for the practical professional life to come later on after their academic career is over. And also we have co-curricular activities where we train our students for debates. We train our students for singing. We train our students for naat competitions and tilawat competitions. These naat competitions, tilawat competitions, debate competitions, and essay writing competitions, they are actually the platform for our students to develop the skill, to develop their personalities for competition, to make them ready for the competition in practical life. We expose our students to such intensive competitions, and our students compete against each other. All the campuses are pitted against each other in different competitions. They compete against each other, they fight against each other, and then sometimes they lose and sometimes they win. But the most important thing is, this makes our students ready for the battle of practical life. We know that the peace system is very popular, is very famous for its academic excellence. We have made hundreds of doctors and engineers. We know that very well. So most of the students come with a dream to become doctors and engineers, and we help them achieve those dreams. But we are also wary of the fact, we are also mindful of the fact that it's not only about achieving these dreams, becoming doctors and engineers. What about those students who can never become doctors or engineers. Not because they are dull, but because they have a set of different skills. They are not for medical field, they are not for engineering field, they are for some other fields. So we are very much mindful of these facts, and we always prepare our students for the other fields of life as well. Even we have a vision of turning our students into CSP officers, armed personnel, commissioned officers. We keep these things in our mind, and that's why the peace system doesn't believe in turning students into bookworms, into nerds. Rather, we have a philosophy, a vision of turning our students into well-rounded personalities. They lose, they win, they feel the pressure, they get anxious, they get anxiety, they suffer from anxiety, they sometimes are under stress. So all these different mental battles prepare our students for the practical life. So this is how, the peace system focuses on turning our students into successful, not only students, also professionals, also successful and useful citizens of this country. So we want everybody that ever comes and takes admission in the peace system, leave this peace system and then be a useful citizen of this country and serve this country in any capacity, in any field. This is how, this is what the peace system believes in, and this is what we practically do. So this is why we believe that anybody who takes admission in the peace never leaves the peace as an incompetent fellow who has no future whatsoever. We make sure that everybody who takes admission in the peace goes into the practical life with some achievement, and he finds his space, he finds his place, and he achieves his level somewhere in some field in the city as a citizen of Pakistan. This is what we actually believe in. So I hope that you have got the idea. Same is the case with our subject English. We try to make them not only the academically good students of English as a subject, but also good speakers of English language, good writers of English language, and we try to provide them with the opportunity to write articles, to write letters in famous, prestigious journals and newspapers in our country, in English newspapers in our country. This is a type of training, and this is a type of opportunity and environment that help them to become successful in any field of life in future. I hope you have got the idea, and I am now again welcoming you into the peace system, and I hope we will never, inshallah, let you down. Thank you very much.